everybody, it's Teresa. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to be making a hand knotted freshwater pearl necklace today. I have the knotting tool. The one I have is the Bead Buddy. I'm not sure who makes it. Maybe Beadsmith. I'm not sure. There are others. I know Beadalon has one. I've got some freshwater pearls. I think they're 7 or 8 millimeter, I think. They're not perfectly round because they're freshwater pearls. I have these little things. These are called Knot-A-Bead spacers. This is going to be a 10 cup style necklace. Let's see, I think you can see it there. It says Knot-A-Bead, KNOT-A-bead on it. And on the other side, it has the measurement. This is a 3/4 inch, and it also comes in a half inch. So you can make whichever space you want between your beads. I'm going to use the 3/4 inch today. That's what I usually use. I've got a lobster clasp and some jump rings and some clamshell tips, and I've got my Griffin silk. You don't have to use Griffin silk or silk. You can use any other kind of cording you want. I like to use the Griffin silk. I like the way it feels. It's nice, and it comes in sizes, I think from 0 to maybe 16 is the highest size it comes in. The bigger the number, the thicker the thread, which is different from wire, where the bigger the number, the thinner the wire. But as far as what size to use, you want to make sure that it is, like freshwater pearls have very tiny holes. And you want to make sure that it will go through those, of course. But then again, you want to make sure when you make your knot that the hole in your bead is not so big that the knot will come through the bead. So I always just test it on the end, not the end with the needle. It comes with a little needle on it, which makes it really handy. A little wire needle there. And I always test it on the end not with the needle, and I just make a little knot and then test and see if it's going to go through my bead, and also the knot is not going to go through my bead. I have some in size 8, which might have worked, but I didn't have any white, and I wanted to use white with these because they're white. I have necklace over here that I did. I keep the little, well, I'm going to use all this today. If you're going to make of course you can make it how long you want it to be. I like to make them really long. I've got one here that I made a while back. It's in, they're kind of wine colored freshwater pearls. And then I use the Griffin silk comes in every color in the rainbow. And I used I think this was rose is what the color was on this. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But this is really long. Of course, you can wear it really long if you want to, or you can double it up and make it look like a 2-strand necklace. I can get it untangled here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can wear it like, you can just like double it up and wear it like that. It is going to be, it's going to have these kinks in it when you take it off the card. And it's going to stretch a little. It's natural silk, and it's just the way it is. It's going to stretch over time. There's no way to avoid it. And I've got a knot in it here. But I try to stretch it out a little bit when I take it off the card and at least get the kinks out of it. But you don't want to pull too hard and hurt yourself. I have done that. I've pulled so hard that I've cut my hand, and you don't want to do that. That's a really bad feeling. Also, you want to be careful, probably not have any makeup or anything on your hands, because it will stain the silk, especially like white like this. It will stain it. So And definitely don't cut yourself and bleed on it. That would be bad. But I just pull it through a little bit and try to stretch those kinks out a little bit. And then I'm going to go to the end that doesn't have the needle on it. Oh, as far as tools, all I have is the knotting tool, and I have my scissors to cut with, and I have my chain nose and bent nose pliers because I'll need them to put my findings on at the end. And I have my tweezer pliers because I always have my tweezer pliers. So I'm going to go to the end, and I'm going to make a double knot because I want to make sure I'm going to put this through my clamshell, and I don't want it to come through. You know, I don't want the knot to come through the clamshell. So I'm going to make a double knot. That. And I'm going to take the end that has the needle and my little clamshell. See, I'm going to zoom in here. And I'm going to take and go through the clamshell this way, through the, like that, through that way. And I'm going to pull the thread all the way through. And make sure it's not going to come through, and it's not. I'm going to take my GS Hypo cement. This is probably not necessary, but I like to just be careful. And I'm going to put a little bit in there on that knot. And then I'm going to try to get my GS Hypo cement closed back up. Yep, that worked. Then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut the end of my thread off. Well, I'm trying to cut my clamshell too. That's not going to work. It'll be easier if I do this. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to take my tweezer pliers and I'm going to close my clamshell gently because you can destroy these little things. They're very delicate. I've destroyed many. Close it up. Okay, now I'm going to make a knot against my clamshell. You don't have to. You can start with, I just like to make a knot against my clamshell. So I'm going to take, you can zoom out a little bit now. I'm going to take the thread over my hands like this. I'm going to drop this down in the hole there. Just like that. I'm going to take my knotting tool. I'm going to, well, I need to take the little protective thing off of it. I'm going to hook it like this. You don't never want to hook it this way. You always want to hook it this way in the direction the needle is going. Hook it. I'll put my finger on it here to keep the thread from slipping off. And let go. And I'm just going to pull. And pull it until that little clamshell is up against the needle there. Now I'm going to take the rest of my thread, I'm going to put it in the yoke, and then I'm going to push. And that makes a little knot there, right next to my clamshell. Okay, now I'm going to put my little spacer, and I don't know that it's got foam inside, and I thought it was supposed to have a slit down the middle, but when I got these, they didn't have a slit down the middle. I just took my box cutter and made a slit down the middle. I don't know if maybe they're not supposed to, or maybe I got a defective one. I don't know, but I'm going to put the thread in that slit. I'm going to pull it down, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to wrap it across around my 2 fingers like that, drop it down through the hole, take the knotting tool, hook it this way, put my finger on it, pull it down till it gets down against the spacer thing, put the thread in the yoke, and push up. And that makes a knot, 3/4 of an inch knot. Now I'm going to thread some beads on. I'll go to the end that has my little needle. I'm going to thread on a few beads. You can do this with any beads. It doesn't have to be freshwater pearls. You can do it with gemstones. You can do it with glass pearls. You can do it with anything. You just need to make sure that whatever you use, that your knot's not gonna pull through your bead. If you're wanting to use gemstones or glass pearls, say, and they have bigger holes, and you can put another little bead on either side of them, like a tiny little bicone or a seed bead or whatever, and that way you can still use it and it won't pull through your bead. Well, I can't find the hole in this. There it is. I had those wine colored freshwater pearls, and I just recently got these white ones. I got these on sale. For some reason, the white ones cost more. I guess when people want more people want the white ones. I guess when people think pearls, they think white pearls. Okay, I'm gonna bring my beads down. Now I'm going to bring one of my beads up against my last knot I made there. I'm going to put the thread over my 2 fingers, over like this, down through the hole. Take the knotter tool, hook it, hold it, pull it up against the tool, and you want to pull good and tight, but you don't want to pull too tight that you are going to... When I started doing this, I thought that I had to pull just like with superhuman strength, and I ended up bending my thing here. It bent. Thankfully, I got it bent back, but it was bent all out of shape, and I was making it too hard on myself. But you don't have to do it that hard. You need to do it nice and hard, but you don't need to just hurt yourself. And see, there's a little knot on either side of my bead there. So now I'm gonna take my little spacer and put my thread in here, put that down against my pearl, wrap it around my fingers, drop it through the hole, take the knotter tool, hook it this way, hold with my finger, pull it through, pull it up against the tool, put the rest of the thread in the yoke, push up, take the knotter tool off. So now I have another little space there. Now I'm going to bring down my next bead and pearl. I'm going to wrap the thread over my fingers, drop it down through the hole, take my knotter tool, hook it this way, hold on to it, pull it through, and don't get it hooked under your tool there. Pull it through until it's up against the tool, like that. Then take this part of your thread, put it in the yoke, push up. And then you have a knot on either side of your pearl. Take your spacer, put it in here. And you can do this with a straw. If you don't have these, you can use one of those little tiny straws like you stir coffee with. You make a slit up the side of the straw and put the straw in there. That way you could cut it any length you wanted. If you wanted it different length than 3/4 of an inch. I just like using these. I've never tried to use a straw, but I know that you can. So I'm going to put it over my fingers, wrap it over my finger. Oh, I lost my spacer. I'm going to wrap it over my fingers, drop it down in the hole, hook it this way, hold it with my finger, pull it up gently. I didn't used to do that. I used to pull it apart. Almost broke my tool. Pull it up gently, pull it up against till it's against the tool there. Put this rest of your thread in the yoke, push up. Take your spacer out. Bring up the next bead. Wrap it around your fingers. Drop it down through the hole. Hook it this way. Hold it. Pull it up against the tool till it's up against the tool. Like that. Put this part in your yoke. Push up. And you have a knot on either side of your bead. Now, when I made this one, there were a few beads that I did not get the knot right up against on either side. I just, let it slip or something. It wasn't a huge deal. It wasn't that much difference. It really bothers some people if they don't get it right up next to it. But once you get a knot in this silk, there's really no way to take it out. And over time, they're going to, a lot of people, they want the knot just right up against there and the bead not to move at all. And that's really is what you're going for. But, if you mess one up and if it's not a huge gap, it doesn't bother me that much. Plus this silk is going to stretch over time. It just is. There's no way to keep it from it. Most of the ones I made in this were right up against, the knots were right up against the pearls. But see, that one is not, because it has stretched over time. There's some in here that, I can tell the ones where I made a mistake because there's more of a, I'm not sure where, but there's more. I found one a while ago when I was looking through here. There's a little bit more space in there, but it's not anything huge. It's not anything anybody's going to notice. I can't find I got most of them there. There's one. I think that's probably one that I didn't get right up against the knot, and now it's got a lot of movement in it because it's stretched over. It's going to stretch over time. Now that one I did it fine, just like these I did, and it's got a little movement now because it's just going to stretch over time. But it's not going to be perfect, I don't think, every time, but it's still going to be pretty. Like I said, you can do this with any beads. You just have to make sure that you are able to not, that your thread's not going to fall through the hole of or that your knot's not going to go through your bead. I'm going to put my spacer on. I'm going to loop over my fingers. Well, I just took my spacer, I just took it off with my hand. Okay, I'm going to drop down through the hole, take the knotter tool, hook it that way, pull up against the tool, put the thread through the yoke, push up. I'm going to bring down another pearl, right up against that knot, make a loop, put everything. Of course, once you get very much of this, you're going to be putting a lot down this little hole here. But put it down through there, hook it this way, put my finger on it, pull till it's up against the tool, and put it through the yoke, push up. There you have your little knot on either side of your bead. Now I'm going to put my spacer in, bring it down, make the loop, drop everything through the hole, put the knotter tool in, hold it, pull it up till it's up against the tool, Put it in the yoke, push up. Bring down the next purl, up against the knot. Make your loop, drop everything down in the hole. Take your knotting tool, hook it this way, hold it, pull it up against the tool, put the thread through the yoke, and push up. And that's all there is to it. You got your little beads all spaced the same distance apart. A lot of people use tweezers to do this, or a beading awl. I'm not that good. I've never been good enough to do that. I like this. It's a lot easier. So I'm going to do the rest of this off camera, and I'll come back and we'll finish it up. Okay, I'm back, and I have realized something that I should have thought of earlier, especially since I've run into this before. I should have remembered. Of course, I want to end my necklace, and I'm pretty much about out of thread here. And I want to end it the same way I started it, with a knot next to my clamshell. But and I've got a knot here, but if I put my clamshell through this way, which is the way it would have to go, since that's just a single knot, it's just going to go through the clamshell like that, see? And I did not allow for that. I should have thought of that, but I didn't. And there's really no way to make a double knot with the knotting tool. So I'm gonna, normally I would just go through my clamshell, make my double knot inside the clamshell, and finish it off. But I'm going to put a little 11-0 here, and then put my clamshell on. And that way there's no worry that it's going to pull through, and I don't think anybody's going to notice that little 11-0 there. It just blends in with the clamshell, so I'm okay with that. So now I'm going to make a double knot. Actually, I'm just going to make 2 single knots, I think. Here, take my beading awl, you guide the knot down into the clamshell. I might could have got another bead on there, but I didn't want to risk it. I'm gonna get that down in there. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get another one. Got a little play there. I messed up. I should have got it down in there tighter. I don't think I can ever fix it now. Hold on. Okay, I've got a problem here. I've got my little 11-0 there, but my knot inside my clamshell didn't come down right into the clamshell like I wanted it to. I'm going to try to see if I can get another knot made and get it behind that knot. This very well may all end in tragedy. If I can't, and I just don't know how I'm going to do that. Just don't know if I can accomplish it. I'm not going to make y'all sit here and watch me fiddle with this. I'm going to try to do it off camera, and I'll be back. Okay, I've fiddled with it as much as I can, and this is the best I can get it. I got a knot down in there, but there's still going to be some room there between the little 11-0 and the clam shell, but hopefully nobody will notice. Now I'm going to take my GS Hypo cement. I'm going to put a little glue down in here. See if I can get it closed back up. least that's working for me. Now I'm going to cut off the rest of my thread. Take my tweezers and close up my clamshell. It's got that big old huge knot in it now. Okay. Now I'm going to put my findings on. Take my, I don't know if this 6mm jump ring will go through here or not. I might have to get a thinner one. These are 18 gauge and they're really thick. Oh no, that's no trouble. Okay. And then on this side, see if I can get this one to go through. I don't really think there's any need to put an extender chain on this because I doubt anybody's going to want it any longer than it already is. Okay. So there is my very long tin cup style knotted necklace. So you zoom out a little bit here now. I can get it all in the camera. I don't think I can, but I can always double it up. Like that. So that's how you do that. Of course, minus the little snafus I had. Okay, I put a blue mat down here, hoping you all could see it better, the white pearls better against the blue mat. If you all decide to make a necklace like this, and you decide not to make an incredibly long one like I did, I always, when I make anything shorter and I have any of the silk left, I always put it back on the card so that I can know for sure the next time I start a project what size it is. As always, thank you all so much for joining me today. I have a website where I sell my jewelry. It's Teresa's Handmade Jewelry, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below in case you're interested, along with a link to my Facebook and Instagram. I really appreciate those of you who have subscribed to my channel and watched my videos and commented. I just really enjoy reading your comments. If you need to ask me anything, if you want to email me, I'll put my email down in the description box below too. I think it's on the About page of the YouTube channel, but I don't know. So I'll just put that down there too. If you haven't, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. So until next time, I hope you all have a great day. Take care.